Good evening, and thank you for joining me on A World Awakening. Uh, I am delighted first of all, I am delighted to show off the lovely parlor behind me. My sister did all the work, all of it. I laid around and watched her do it. So Christine gets all the kudos for the lovely, festive holiday lights. I'm so glad that you decided to join me tonight. It is a special night, and I have a very special friend who is joining me, and her name is Monique. Some of you know her. The rest of you will be glad that you do. And I just love this being of light to the core of who I am. When we met each other, it wasn't that long ago, it was probably a little more than a year. It was spontaneous combustion of love, and it was a recognition and I think a reunification on some soul level, that we've known each other forever, that we will know each other forever. And I felt kind of a twinge of regret that it took so long for us to come together on this plane of action at this time. But knowing that everything happens in its right and proper time with purpose and reason, I had to just accept. And now we're just making up for lost time. So that said, allow me to introduce my dear friend, Monique Toosoon.
Hi.
Hello, darling. You look ravishing. You're radiant. You're radiant. You're beautiful.
Oh, thank you. It was so cold up here. I was like, I'm going to just look tropical so I feel that way.
You're a freak. You're up in the frozen tundra and dressed for Key West.
We have snow.
What? You have snow?
We have snow. Like we had 4 inches of snow yesterday.
Okay, well, you don't live in Erie, Pennsylvania. Okay, they have like 8 feet.
Oh, gross.
So this would be a good time for you to count your blessings.
For real.
In inches and not feet.
Yeah. No one needs feet of snow.
No. Ever. Yeah, well, I was there in Rhode Island at the farm during the blizzard of 1978, and we got 56 inches of snow.
Whoa.
And lost the cars on the property. We didn't know where the cars and the van were parked because we were housebound for 6 days and couldn't remember where things were parked. And the snow drifts were so high that they covered the windows on the second floor of the farmhouse.
Wow.
So you know what? I don't want to shovel snow anymore under any circumstances. I have shoveled hundreds and hundreds of feet of snow in my lifetime, and I'm not doing it anymore.
No, you just got to pay someone to do it.
That's exactly right. And that's why young boys exist. You know, they're not going to have a heart attack. They're really strong. You know, when you got them in the front yard and they're starting to peel off their coats and it's 10 degrees, you know they've got what it takes to clear the path.
Half the time they show up wearing shorts now. Have you seen the guys now? They wear shorts in the winter and I'm freezing. They wear
shorts in the winter. I saw a guy today. I was like, you're a man's man. You know what he said, well, he had a coat on and shorts. And I was like, you're a man's man. That's impressive. And he's like, it only matters from the waist up. I'm like, okay, I guess. But yeah, it's been very, very cold here in Georgia too. We were down to 19 degrees, I think, last night. And yeah, when the dogs run out and do whatever they need to do in less than a minute before they run back in the house, you know it's cold.
Yeah, that's cold.
Yeah. So tonight, as much as we have fun together, Jonathan. Oh, I know, huh?
Hi, Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Yes. He's been to almost every one of my events this year.
Yes. Well, because he's got extraordinarily good taste and he knows who to investigate with. Laura. Oh, Laura.
I love that you can see the comments. You guys are so sweet. Thank you.
I know, it's sweet. Well, that's, what Bill does. He sits in that studio and just brings more light and more light. So why don't you, you've been on the show once before, but in case there's anybody that hasn't met you that way or hasn't met you in person at one of your numerous events, why don't you tell folks a little bit about your background and who you are at heart and what your life is about, and just go.
All right. Well, my name is Monique Toosoon, and I've been an investigator for 20 years and a drag queen for about the same amount of time. And then during COVID, I couldn't go to bars or clubs, and I decided that this was, I had to get back in drag and do something, and I couldn't go to a club. So I went ghost hunting in drag, and then that's when I started doing this, and I started combining the two things I love. And the first night I went ghost hunting in drag, I caught a really cool EVP that said, "He's a lady." And
I love it.
The ghosts are sassing me. They're making fun of me. And I'm like, this is how I've got to do this from now on. This is making a statement. And I'm doing something that nobody else is doing in the entire world. I'm the world's craziest trigger object.
Mm-hmm.
And I love what I do. And I've realized in the past few years that I'm also sensitive. So I'm starting to have a lot of fun with that. And I've done some TV work. I've been on Dark Echoes on Amazon Prime, and I'm on the season finale of The Ghost Finders, which is supposed to come out sometime this year, before the end of the year, hopefully. I would love to see it. And recently I just wrote a book called Haunting of Emery Estate, and I'm so excited. This is my first book, and I co-wrote it with a really good friend named Rob Guttrow, who is a pet medium.
Wonderful. That's what you need to send me the link so that I can put that up on Facebook for you.
Oh, absolutely. I will.
Yeah.
I would love
that. When I did Soul School this last hour, I was letting people know too that if you live in the contiguous United States, reach out to my assistant, Lynn Ann Bowling. If you want any books for Christmas, I'll need to get them out this week. So there it is. Yeah, see, there's Bill. You can count on Bill. There it is.
It was number one the first weekend.
I know. See, there you go. There you go.
Oh,
but
cool.
I can help you with that. So send me the link and I will put it up on Facebook for you.
Yes. And I want to also congratulate you. We have to toast you.
Oh, why?
From your medical diagnosis a couple of weeks ago. Remember, we were supposed to do a cheers?
Yes, cheers.
For the
cheers.
happy positive
Here's
news.
to the future. Here's to the future, darling.
A long future with you.
Yeah. Well, it was shocking. It was even shocking to my doctor. They don't, you couldn't pay me enough to do what she does, because how hard it must be to lose patients that you just, really develop a personal relationship with and care about. And so it was wonderful to get after just 3 months on these drugs, these incredibly toxic, powerful drugs, to go from, and metastatic breast cancer, it moved all through my body. And I had, just in my lungs, I had 13 tumors, and there's one left.
Wow.
One. Wow. The one in my neck is gone. The 2, 3 in my breast have diminished.
Wow.
Just enormously. It's amazing. And I'm sure it probably makes a little, some people a little squeamish. It's like, oh, this is so personal and she's talking about it. And yeah, I am, because how many people out there are suffering in silence and they need to feel like they, from whatever, and need to feel that it's okay to express yourself. It's okay to share. It's okay to let other people know that you're fighting through something too. And you're not alone. You're not alone. And so that's why I have been, and it was a conscious decision. It was deliberate on my part. It would have been very easy for me to not share this with anybody but a very close circle of friends. But in sharing it, I have thousands and thousands of people that are praying for me, that are speaking to the universe on my behalf. I am extremely grateful and humbled by the outreach. And you, I mean, I hear from you every few days. How you doing, girl? I mean, that means a lot to me.
Oh, it means so much to me. I'm so happy. That was the best day ever when you called me and told me that the news was so good. I was like so excited for you. Like,
yeah,
we just met and I'm like, I need you in my life forever. You can't go anywhere. I need you.
I know. I need you too.
Oh,
we all need each other. We do. It is. I'm not saying it's not a difficult time, a trying time. I'm really tired but no nausea at all. Still have a full head of hair, God knows. I know I feel like I'll get through this on the other side. I'll be able to share this incredible experience that I am having. And boy, I'll tell you what, having a circle, having a tribe, having, a group that circles the wagons, we all build a fire and make s'mores, that's just, it's such an incredible blessing in my life. And you're a very important part of that. Now, one of the things that I want to discuss with you, and if anybody wants any of my books between now and Christmas or to give to a gift to others, contact Linny and also Monique. I'm sure you can find online as well. And I will ship those out to you. Yes, message her. She'll take care of everything, and I'll get them out in the next week so that they get wherever they need to be for Christmas.
My book is in pre-order.
Oh, excellent. When's your actual publication date?
1/1.
1/1. Okay, good.
Yeah, which is kind of weird. I opened my hair salon on 1/1/2011, and my book is coming out on 1/1, and we're having the book signing party on 1/11.
Yeah, well, cosmic numbers, darling.
So we're all the ones.
I know. Yeah, but that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
You check that out. Do a little bit of research on that. That's a wonderful thing. And that's very cosmically powerful alignment. So, yeah.
Oh, I like that. I'm going to have to look that up now.
Yeah, no, you really do have to. I promise you. I'll spare you the liturgy on it now, but it is angelic.
Oh.
And yeah, so hang in there. I always said, I knew from the moment I held you in my arms, you were an earth angel. I knew.
Oh.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not an earth
Yeah,
devil?
you said you were just like recently finding out that you're sensitive. You're more than a sensitive. You're an empath, and you're a star seed. You're a star seed. You're here absolutely precisely at this time for a very, very important reason, and you're living into your destiny right now. That was what I was trying to tell you that night, but we were talking so fast and back and forth and exchanging so much information in such an abbreviated period of time that I don't blame you if you don't remember me trying to tell you that, but I had witnesses, including Aaron, and I absolutely did tell you.
Oh, I was so excited too. I probably don't remember half of what we said at all. My brain was full of energy that night.
I know we were in overdrive. It was amazing standing outside, and that was the night of the blue light. Do you remember?
Yeah. You called them in the sky.
I know, and the whole freaking sky just lit up with blue light.
Yeah,
and everybody saw it, and then I said, "Okay, shut it down," and they did. And then I said, "Okay, bring it back," and they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Michelle was going to just pee her pants. I really, she's like, what is happening here? Yeah.
It's mind-blowing, especially when you haven't seen it in person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
really
they were particularly cooperative that night, which is unusual where we were because we had so much residual light around us that they had to make a big deal of it. And so that's why they did, because otherwise it would have been so difficult to be able to We're talking about extraterrestrial presence on planet Earth and around the planet. So anybody that's questioning what are they talking about exactly, what blue light? Yeah, it was that.
It happened in a hotel parking lot.
It did happened in a hotel parking lot in
They're everywhere.
Rhode Island. Yep. It did. But anyway, hi Brady. Oh, you're so sweet.
Hi Brady.
I love Brady. You know Brady.
I do?
Yeah, I think so. I think you do. I think you've met Brady. He's my godson.
Oh.
I didn't get him as a godson until he was, I think, 16 or 17, maybe 15. But yeah, he is. I basically share him with his mother.
Oh, that's cute.
Very sweet. She's very generous like that. So anyway, one of the things that I wanted to talk about, one of the things that I think is the most important thing for us to address tonight is when we had a conversation not that long ago, and you said something to me that disturbed me, truly disturbed me. And I don't remember how I responded during the conversation, but I know how I reacted to it afterward. And I was really troubled. And you told me that, and it was before the election, and you told me you were afraid. And one of the most destructive forces on this planet is fear. And I've often said that the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is fear, and hatred is born of fear. And I have to say, and I don't care who I piss off, this has all been done deliberately. This is sleight of hand and smoke and mirrors and artificial creation of a culture war that has to do with people who are different. Mm-hmm. We're all different. See, that's what they fail to understand. That creating a culture war that is anti-LGBTQ plus, that is, I mean, transgender people are less than 1% of the population, like way less than 1% of the population. Paranoid much?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when you've got a congresswoman saying that the first transgender member of Congress is not allowed to use the bathroom in the Capitol building because she feels like she's being bombarded by what? Your own sense of paranoia?
Correct.
This is all deliberate. This is ugly, and there is an entire segment of the population of our society who is working diligently to demonize and vilify perfectly lovely, kind, good, wonderful people. Mm-hmm. You know, genetically, there are people that are born with both sets of human genitalia. And I know one, and she identifies as a woman. She lives in California, but she's been so open about this in her work that she's now afraid that someone will target her because of this thing that this is how she was born.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I said afraid, this is what I'm talking about, because 20 years ago when I started doing drag, I would not even I would not leave my house in drag. I would not walk around a parking lot of a bar in drag. I would hide it until I got into a bar, or I would get ready in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
It was scary. I was always afraid of having the shit kicked out of me. I live in a small state, and violence against gay people, I lived it in high school. I had the shit beat out of me a lot in high school because for being gay, and it was terrifying. I hated going to school, and that fear is very real. But the thing is the people that are the loudest right now are the ones that are afraid of us, but they're using that to hate on us because they don't understand it. There's so much ignorance. And 20 years ago, it felt so unsafe just to leave the house and drag. And finally, up in, around when Obama took office, we finally started to feel safe. Like, I feel like that was a real big turning point for the country. And for people who were different, gay marriage was finally legal. I was with my husband and not legally married until Obama took office. We got these rights in the past 20 years, the right to adopt our child. I have a son, these weren't things I was born with. These weren't things that I had when I was a teenager. These were things that we got in the past 20 years and had to be fought for. And politicians use them as threats.
Weapons. Absolutely, as weapons. Yeah.
Weapons. And it's like, people are like, milk is expensive. Fuck your rights.
Yeah, exactly.
And what happens now is we're afraid again. Drag queens are getting targeted. Last year they tried to make drag illegal and it was, made unconstitutional. Like, people are trying to come at us and we have done nothing wrong. They're being told we're doing something wrong to create a hate spiral. Yeah,
I want to know what... when I first moved to Atlanta area in 1980, there was this great drag bar downtown. And one of my friends who owned a store down the mall from my store, Roswell Mall in Roswell, Georgia, Tony, was a magnificent singer. He did all his own work and he would appear every weekend at the bar in Atlanta, and my sister Christine and I would go. And for his shows were, no two shows were the same. He was just absolutely amazing. And it was so much fun to go in and, open up our store on Monday morning, and there he is in his suit and his tie and he's all dapper and he's got it's like, it's like two people, it was amazing. I was blown away by him and blown away by the talent. And I just want to know what is so friggin' threatening about someone who is beautiful and talented and filled with life, getting up on a stage and doing a show or doing a whether it's musical or whether it's stand up or whether it's we're all each our own unique manifestation of a greater consciousness that exists in the universe that created each and every one of us exactly the way that we are. And, I've always said, and I recently did an event with you, I believe out in Iowa. My lecture was about no one is free until everyone is free. To be free, to be Monique, free to be yourself in whatever form and folly it takes. You are a radiant soul and it just bursts through you. You are intelligent and articulate and incredibly well-read and an incredible presence on stage. You are the best of us. And why are there so many trying to diminish you and make you seem somehow less than all that you are? To me, that is cruel and it is evil. And so I can't afford to be really, really angry because it's not good for me. Kind of got me in trouble in the first place. All that toxicity can really build up in your system. But I guess I would say that I am vigilant and that I am watchful and I am defensive of all of us freaks and weirdos and misfits. Tonight, just before I started doing Soul School at 9:00, Chris and I were in here and we were watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which is an absolutely wonderful, I've seen it probably 50 times in my life, at least. And the lessons that are in it about being loving and accepting of all. And when Santa goes to the island of misfit toys to take them all out of their isolation and spread them around the world to all the little children who are so grateful to have their own toy, even if it is a choo-choo with square pegs.
Yeah.
There's a beauty and a simplicity and a lesson in that for all of humanity if we pause long enough to see it. And, I don't mean to be emotional about this, but I love you and I feel very protective of you and I worry. And I know you're smart and you're not going to put yourself in a situation where you're vulnerable. But I was in Orlando the night of the Pulse nightclub. And I had friends there. Thank God nobody I knew was killed, but, more than 50 people were massacred for being different, for just being gay, for being out with their friends, dancing and singing and playing and hugging and celebrating life. And for that, they received the ultimate death sentence. And it was 5:15 in the morning. My TV was on. I was sleeping. And I woke to the live sound of gunfire. The news channel that I had it on was there on the premises. They were a few blocks away. And a few blocks away, they could hear the rapid fire machine gun that was killing people, hunting them down in bathroom stalls where they were hiding and trying not to breathe and not to make a sound.
It was a horrible, horrible event. Just you never feel safe in a bar again,
Yeah. Well,
no gay person will ever feel safe again in a bar.
All I have to say about this politically is that 2 years ago, there was in a state of 22 million, I think, at the time, when I was down there, I think about 22 million people. Ron DeSantis had pushed through a line item veto through into law. And the budget came out. And there was in that budget $250,000 earmarked for survivors of the Pulse nightclub shooting, for the survivors who were in wheelchairs, who needed medical help for the rest of their lives. $250,000 had been allotted to the survivors of the Pulse nightclub massacre. And he picked up his pen and used his line item veto to delete less than a penny a person that it would have taken to care for the victims of that massacre. And he deleted it out of the state budget. And that was the day I said, let there be a special hell for you to burn in, you son of a bitch.
That's not enough money.
Well, first of all, that's not enough money. Yeah. And, but it was something. It was something.
And to take that away?
And well, what we did was started raising money privately to, start. There was already a fund going and everything. and people who were absolutely appalled by that level of bigotry, that level of discrimination. We raised way more than the $250,000 that was deleted from the state budget that year. But now I'm in Georgia, and it's the same. It's really the same. It's like you take a little tiny step forward and then a giant step backward, and I feel like we're in that giant step backward right now that I can't afford for my own health to respond to it the way that I have in the past, because if it didn't cause me to be sick, it certainly didn't help my situation at all. And so now I'm having to look at this more objectively than subjectively. But when I see what your situation is and how, you could, a CEO of United Healthcare was blown away on the streets of New York.
Yeah.
2 days ago at 6:00 in the morning. We live in a crazy world with crazy people. And, I don't know. I believe the number is somewhere around 50 million more guns in this country than there are actual people.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, somebody can Google that and see if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. There's about 350 million people and about 400 million registered firearms in the United States. And
Wow.
about 30% of the people own all of them.
Wow.
And these are numbers that are staggering to me. And I can't, my mother was a crack shot. My mother grew up, she had her first rifle when she was 5, because she wasn't allowed to go down to the Little Ocmulgee River without taking a firearm with her, because that might save her life. My mother grew up in rural swampland, Georgia, South Georgia, where she swam with alligators. They hunted for their food,
Yeah.
and so, don't ask me if this is all about just guns. That's just one way to hurt another person and kill another person. There are a multitude of ways to create that kind of mortal danger and permanent harm to a human being.
And in the gay community, it's not even guns.
I know it's not.
It's parents.
Yeah.
Parents are causing their kids to kill themselves because they do not approve of them. Mm-hmm. And they are forcing them to not be who they are. And that is the number one cause of gay suicide,
It is. It absolutely is.
People need to learn to be more accepting. Would you rather have your kid be, not alive, or who they want to be?
Or different. Yeah.
People invest too much time in what's going on in other people's households when they have no business being there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I loved what Tim Walz said during the election season. He's like, we have a rule in Minnesota, where it's in Minnesota that he was governor. Mind your own damn business.
Yeah.
It's just live and let live. Let it be. Just if you're not harming someone else being who you are, why is it an issue? I'll never, but there's a lot I don't understand. So it's easy for me to say, I'll never understand that. Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg of what I don't understand. I've just had to come at it from a slightly different approach now, because I can't allow it to harm me. The way I'm looking at it now, honestly, is you get what you pay for. Let's see what comes of this, and all we can do is continue. Cheers. Fight on, chick. Fight on, because no one is free until everyone is free, and that
absolutely.
Is
I had someone tell me the other day, that they had voted for Trump, and they were like, but I will totally support you and your rights will never go anywhere. And if they do, I'll be the first to fight. And I'm like, you realize how stupid that sounds, right? You'll be the first to fight. You could fight right now.
You could have, your fight was your vote.
Seriously, like that doesn't feel better.
Yeah. That's fine. I mean, it's just that I think that there's so much willful ignorance. I think that there is just so much that is misunderstood about the intentions surrounding this. It's mind-boggling to me. This incoming administration is mind-boggling that we're here again, that we decided to revisit this again, which means, number one, that human beings are incredibly slow learners, and that there's more here in this lesson. I did a show about this a few weeks ago, and we were talking about the abortion issue. And I told a very personal story with my mother's permission when she was alive, told me that I could absolutely discuss it openly, and I did. And I think during that show, I said, some of the women who are going to die because they cannot access emergency medical care for a pregnancy gone wrong will vote for him,
right?
And basically say that the system in all the states that have made it virtually illegal to access care, they're going to die, and it's what they chose. It's what they wanted to be, and desperately wanted the baby that came to them as an ectopic pregnancy that couldn't be treated, and the fallopian tube ruptures, and they bleed out in a parking lot in a hospital that will not help them because the doctors are afraid to go to jail.
Yep.
So we've got a lot of problems to face, and we've got a lot to address and to educate people about. And you can't always do that by screaming in their face. No. Sometimes you just have to quietly, silently pray that they will come to the understanding that what they've just done is completely counterproductive to their future.
Yeah.
And that's not something that you can make anyone understand. I am a student of this my whole life, a student of this. I went to my first anti-war. Are you having there's something in your space.
Did you see the bat just fall?
No, there's something.
That was so weird.
Yeah.
So, this just fell. But there was a lot of movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
That's very cool. I love your bat. That's very cute.
Thank you.
It seems to me that we're going to have to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
And that means that you and millions of other people come together in love to spread the word. I think, Monique, it's the only way to spread the word that no one is free until all of us are. And that we are now living in a time where the first time in the history of the United States, that rights that were extended to women more than 50 years ago have been rescinded. Yeah. That's never happened before. To me, this is as big a deal as the Supreme Court saying, this whole women's suffrage thing didn't work out really well. And so women no longer have the right to vote.
Yeah.
You would hear a collective fuck you from the top of the lungs of 52% of the population of this country.
Yep.
This is the same thing. This is the same thing.
Yeah.
And the lives that will be unnecessarily lost because of legislation that was forced through by right-wing ideologues who decide that it's their way or the highway, period. That's it. This is how it's going to be. You're going to live by these rules or go live in a blue state.
Right.
And that's how they feel. Go live in a blue state. And have now hired someone to be the president of the United States who has guaranteed that he will do everything to outlaw this right that still exists in 26 states, to make it go away coast to coast, so that if any woman needs abortion service or care or DNC or would need to leave the country to get the procedure necessary to save her life.
Yep.
Unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. And I'm sorry, but my attitude, call me a radical feminist, but I'm sorry, if you don't have the equipment in your body to make a baby, to carry a baby, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You don't even know what you're talking about. Yep. Like, the senator that said the best way to end abortion is for women to keep an aspirin between their knees. Well, I'll tell you what, I'd like to use my knee to go right up into your groin so that you taste it in the back of your throat, you son of a bitch.
Oh my God.
I cannot tolerate that kind of ignorance. I just can't. And you know what? When that was said, it was at a time not so long ago when his own members of the Republican Party, and he was a Republican, still is, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They ran him out of Congress for saying that. They ran him out of Congress. That was probably 10 years ago? And look how things have changed.
Right.
I'm afraid for America. You know who I'm really afraid for? Ukraine. You know who I'm really, really afraid for? Oh, God. Oh, my God, Ukraine. What I'm really afraid for is NATO. That's what I'm most afraid is, the most successful has kept the peace in Europe for 70 years. And it's about to dissolve because it's what Vlad wants. And when you got somebody by the short hairs for whatever reason, and we may never know, and you twist, they pretty much do whatever you ask them to do. It's kind of a how-high moment for the United States. And that terrifies me. But my sister's researching really great places to live around the world. So, it's always an option.
I'm moving in.
But no, I'm really in stay and fight mode. And I just want you to know I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
Thank you. And you know what really makes me mad about everything right now? How embarrassing everything looks too. A lot of our country voted for these cabinet choices that are coming. Half of these men are sexual predators. They all have histories. It's like, what is going on? And then look at me personally. I had an instance where a politician from New Hampshire went on record and told people I was a registered sex offender, and I sued him. I won, and he just won re-election by a landslide up here. You just re-elected a dishonest, horrible person. And now the whole
Honey, we just reelected a convicted felon.
And
34 times, and it would have been a lot more if the rest of his trials had gone through before the Supreme Court gave him complete immunity. So you know what? Somebody needs to get a ladder and go up that building and chisel off the words that basically intimate that no man is above the law. One man is. One man is. And the havoc that he will wreak.
Yeah.
We will have to live with for 4 years, maybe more. Yeah. This is a horrifying time to live in this country. I am absolutely devastated by people's willingness to just overlook crimes that were committed, that were adjudicated, that were, and it was just the beginning. Yeah. It was just the beginning, and poof, like magic, like sprinkled fairy dust, it went away. Just went away.
So unbothered by it. So unbothered by when J.D. Vance was on the news telling the whole country that they'll make up stories.
Yeah. Well, he admitted that he made up the eating of the cats and dogs.
Yes. So unbothered by it.
He did. And
that wasn't a deal breaker. Not a deal breaker.
Yeah, not a deal breaker.
Not a deal breaker that he used
not a problem.
$250,000 of campaign money to, essentially pay for sex, That wasn't a deal breaker either.
No. And so, even though he is a pathological liar, he did speak the truth once that I recall when he made the comment that he could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot someone and that he wouldn't lose a vote. Because you see, the cult has become the culture. And part of what you're caught up in is part of the culture war that has been fabricated to create fear and distance and separation between people who would get along just fine if they weren't afraid of each other. Correct. Because of the lies. It's contemptuous. Yeah, it's absolutely contemptible behavior. And it is so foreign to the way that I think about. No way, Bill. Are you kidding me? 5 minutes. Really? Oh, Monique, honey, you have to come back. You're just going to have to come back.
I'm always available for you.
And there's going to be a lot to discuss as time goes by, because unfortunately there are going to be incidents and tragedies that could have been averted, that would have been averted if not for reason A, B, C, and D, and this is all the sediment, the cauldron has been hit with a flamethrower, and everything toxic in the sediment has risen and bubbled to the surface now. And so, my darling, I take your hand. I love you so much. I'm proud of you. Just be you. Free to be Monique is what we need to focus on. And I want you to feel the support and the love of our community. And by and large, in our community, in the paranormal community, it's a very eclectic mix of people, you must admit.
Yes.
But we, in general, are very, very supportive of each other. I hate the word tolerant. It's like, oh, I'll put up with you, I guess.
Exactly.
No, that's a gross word in relation to interpersonal relationships. Kendra, Nicole, a lot of folks around the world woke up election night and felt this massive shift of energy and visions. Yeah, Kendra, yeah. I like to call them nightmares. No, this is the paradigm shift. We need to just call it what it is. It has been ongoing for a while, but we're here now.
Yeah,
it has been coming, and now we're here.
Yeah. And we're going to spend the next few years being strong bitches.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Fighting back against the system.
Well, a big part of it was started in 2016 when he rose to prominence and slithered down, the golden escalator with malaria on his arm. And to paid applause. Well, trained seals. And so the hoax began and the cult began, and it's a cult of personality. And I don't know what they find. I personally want to vomit in my mouth every time I hear his voice or see, or see his face, and often do. But and I can't even blame the chemo for that because it was way before I was on chemo. I don't know what to do about this other than to be as kind and accepting and loving and try to somehow maintain. I had oh my God, I don't know. I can't even talk about it. It was just awful. I don't want to fight. I don't want to argue. I want to stay very well informed and very watchful about this, because this is a time when women are under siege, when the others are under siege. Yes. And I was raised as one of the cornerstones of the foundation of my life has been the golden rule, and I've always thought of it as do unto others as though you are the others, because to someone you are the others.
Yeah.
And so all we can do is be vigilant and watchful and mindful and stay informed and know that I have got your back always, always. So
ditto with that. I got your back always.
So you send me the link to your new book and we'll get you some pre-orders, baby.
I will. I absolutely will. And hatred is ignorance.
Hatred is ignorance. Hatred is a manifestation of fear. If you want to relinquish your power to fear, you're going to the lowest possible common denominator. We all feel fear, all of us. It is the lowest common denominator. And if you want to be empowered, all you can do is thank that part of fear that's just a common human emotion. Thank it for every time it gave you that tap on the shoulder of, ooh, don't do that. Don't hang out with them. That kind of instinctive, intuitive, don't, be careful, be watchful. Thank it. Thank it for that purpose that it serves. And then let it go, because then it has no power over you once you embrace it. But when you make a living lying to people, when you decide it's in your best interest to lie, to cheat, to steal, to do whatever it takes to retain power over others, that is evil. That is not government. And, I love F words, but I've been dealing with, my favorite one, but fascist and felon are in that group too. And we need to pay attention. Pay attention. All right, Bill. All right, we got to wrap up because he's so bossy.
Seriously, Bill.
He is the boss of me, though, when it comes to this. So,
love you.
I love you. And as for everybody that's watching tonight, please think about what we talked about. Please open your heart and always, always be the beacon and be the light you seek in the world. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.